think it's a great tutorial. I'm always I'm always stuttering. I think this would be a great tutorial for beginners to try out. So today I'm gonna be doing a makeup tutorial. It's not gonna be too in depth, but it's just gonna be like the basic stuff. Okay, I can't wait to use them. I'm just mad that they didn't include a foundation brush in like the brush set. I swear I saw a foundation brush in the brush set, but that's okay. We're gonna make do with what we have. Okay, I don't want to talk too much. I just want to get into it. A full face of drugstore products, basically, because that's mainly what I use, and my beats be very nice. Okay, very nice. For my foundation, I'm gonna be using these. It's not too much. Like, I just need it for it to be a nice blend between my foundation and the concealer, and it's not too heavy, so it's not like too cakey on my face. And I use the darker shade for the parameter. I have my wet sponge. Usually I just stick to my 2016 brows, but today I just felt the need to like gel them up a bit. Like, not too much, just like a little bit though, because I don't know, I just don't be taking too well to. And I use the soap, the soap method. I don't have brow gel because I don't use it that much, so I don't find it like necessary. The primer that I'm using, I mainly use it in like the T-zone. Go in with the LA Girl. I just do what works for me, okay? I just do what works for me, and you should too. If whatever that is works for you, do it. So for my brows, I don't do too much. I don't overland them too much. I think it depends on your eyebrow and what style you want to go for. For me, I already have like nicely thick eyebrows. I already have nice eyebrows, so I don't go over them too much, and I just don't go over them too much, because I feel like it's only when you have like thin brows you need to go over them a lot, if that's what you're going for. But for me, I just start like right before the arch of my brow. I just try to like darken where hair already is. And then if you see it getting like patchy or whatever, you can just brush through it. Literally just line like throughout my brow. I don't have to go over, or I don't try to bring the arch too high up. I try my best to like just stay within where I am and darken where I need to darken, and just leave the rest be. And now I'm gonna do the same thing to this eye. I just try to like catch where all the fine hairs are on the top, and just like make my brow a little bit bigger. Like, not too big, but like a little bit, not bigger, but I would say darker, because there are hairs there. I just go over them to shade them. I try to like darken the front a little bit, but not too much. But I do have like a cut in my eyebrow, if you can see it right there. I don't know where that came from, but I think it was from like a cut from I was like a kid. So brush that I used, I tried to use like a flat brush, and then I use my spoolie end to kind of clean it up. And with this brush, with my e.l.f. concealer, I try to not put too much on the concealer on the brush, so I just use like a little bit just around the arch of my brows. When I go in here, I just go right under the brow. I try to not go too close to the brow, but I just go like right under my brow. Take your time, take your time. So I try to just go right under my brow, and then I pull it down a bit. And the reason you don't want to use too much concealer is also because you have to blend it, and if there's too much to blend, then it's gonna be like a bit harder if you're a beginner. Now with this same brush, I'm gonna go over my brows with the lighter foundation, and I just go around my eyebrow with the lighter foundation. And take your time and just like carve out the brow. It's a bit too wide on the end for me, so I'm gonna go back over that in a second. And then clean up the tail of your brow. And that's how you get to like cut it short. That's how you like do your brows. And then I just kind of like buff out whatever is left on the brush around the eye. Now I just go back in with my brush to just kind of like blend the bottom of my brow. Now I just go in and I blend out around my eyebrows with a sponge. I can't see it, but I just go in with this foundation like all around, and I put it mostly on my forehead too, because I don't have that much forehead. But if you do, then you could leave room for the lighter foundation. Drag it like under your neck and on the jawline a little bit. Don't just let it sit on the face, girl. Like pull the brush around my brows and on top of my lid with the excess. I go in with the lighter e.l.f. concealer, and I just go in with the lighter e.l.f. concealer. Ooh, this one is a very illuminating, dewy. This one's a very illuminating light. Maybe a one spot in my forehead and a one spot on the chin. This brush, it's kind of fluffy. You probably need a denser brush, but for me, I'm okay. So just pat, 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 pat. And one thing I have learned with makeup over the past few years is that your technique matters way more than the products being used, and placement and technique matter way more than I can't finish the sentence. So just pat it out on your forehead. Product and technique matter way more than, no, not product. Technique and placement matter way more than the product. Products matter, but technique and placement matter more than products. So I'm just gonna leave this. So I'm gonna go in with this one is the LA Girl. This this has been out since high school. Not this one, not this specific one, but I've been using this brand from high school. So it's like, it's been there with me from the jump. I remember me and my friend at the time, we saved up our money. I'm not gonna wait for this one to set in. I'm just gonna buff it out right now. So in Jamaica, they have stuff called partners, where it's kind of like a savings, kind of like what you guys do with like banks here. And me and my friend at the time, we were in a partner with this seller outside at the school gate. And every morning, I think every day, you'd pay your partner and stuff like that. And at the end of the school year, you'd collect it. So I collected it with my friend, and we literally went to the mall and buy up makeup. We just bought makeup. I don't even think I was allowed to wear makeup at the time, but Was I allowed to wear? I think so. I think so. I think I was allowed to wear makeup at the time because I think this was like maybe eighth grade, or ninth grade. I think it was like 8th grade. So while that sits, I'm gonna pick up the X. And yeah, so we went to the mall, and I think our draw at the time was like $8,000. We spent like, I think like 5,000 or 2,500 in the mall on makeup, and it was, oh my gosh, those were the times. Those were the times. Now I'm gonna go in with this brush and go under my eyes and pat it out. And that was the friend that got me into makeup, because I didn't like makeup like back then. I was like preaching like, oh, natural, yada yada yada, just stuff that my dad instilled in me, which I get it why he would want to instill that in his daughter. I know I don't need it because most days I just wear skincare. It's not that deep, but it's just fun to do. It's honestly just fun to do makeup. And yeah, so that friend at the time, I was like preaching, oh, all this natural shit and whatever. And my friend at the time, she was into like the Kardashian. She was watching Kylie Jenner. She was like a King Kylie fan at the time, which is super dope now that I think about it. And that's how, like, not only Kylie Jenner, but I remember at the time where she had this whole, the lip kits and stuff. That's kind of like how we got into it. She got into it, and then I was her best friend. So, but shout out to her, because makeup is actually makeup is actually therapeutic for me right now. Yeah, and I just use the excess on my chinny chin. Milk makeup concealer. Yeah, it's a concealer, but I use it as my contour. I don't know, I just think it's like the perfect shade a little bit. And when I'm contouring my nose now, I don't really do it to the point where it's like my nose is like mad skinny. I don't do that. I don't do that. But yeah, and then you want to just go in upon your temple, and then on your cheek, a little bit down on your cheek. Try to measure up to see whether or not they're like, yeah. And then I just go along my jaw, boop, and a little boop on my forehead. I don't be doing too much to my forehead, and a little bit there, like a little, like, to like carve out my little chin. You just want to go in and you just want to pat it, just pat. And I've come to realize that with my face, it's like I don't really need too much contouring. Like when I do way too much contouring, I'm like, nah, this is because even right now I think that there's too much contouring over my brows. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the foundation brush and I'm just gonna like buff it back. A lot of things are correctable with makeup, but yeah, I just pat. One thing I will say is that I'm still learning about makeup. I don't know everything about makeup. Looking a little bit too dark, I just go in with the same buffing brush that I did that has like my foundation on it, and I just run it over. Just gonna go in and pat. See? I'm just gonna go in and pat. And then I'm gonna go in with, where is that one brush? Yeah. Short, dense brush. This one is from QO. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but that one's from QO. So I just go in and I drag it up to my brows. And I gently pat it out to my brows. Gently pat it out on my nose. Go back in with the concealer and I just put a little line down. And then I just pat it out with my fingers. Because, like I said, I don't really want a super duper skinny nose. No, I just really wanted it for like... I just kind of like go back in with concealer. And what I do these days is that with the contour or the concealer, I just put a little bit of it on my brow bone. And I'm gonna just buff it. I'm just gonna go in with my Fit Me powder. I use this on a puff thingy. And then I'm just gonna go in. And not the oil running out of my hair onto my face. And now I'm gonna top it off with this Revlon blush. This blush is very, 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 very bright. So I just gotta go like one. And that is it for the blush. Now I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. powder palette. I'm gonna mix these two colors to get a nice little contour color, but not too much, because with my face, I don't need too much contour. Sometimes bronzer is good enough, but with like a smaller brush, I just go in and I just bring it down onto my nose. I like this mascara. I stole this from my friend. It says CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. Is that what it says? Yeah, I just stole this from my friend. I'm telling you. And then I go on the bottoms. I try to not get too close to my waterline. I have this one beauty spot like right that I like to touch upon before. It looks a little dark, but I love that little beauty spot. Now I'm gonna go in with my black lipstick, a darker, and I go in with some lip gloss from Alluring Dolls Beauty. Maybelline setting spray. I'm just gonna cover my eyes because I did mascara. I'm just gonna go. I just took out the earrings because I just felt like I looked too auntie. This is the final beat. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment box below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Wait. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. I have different socials for different things. I can't wait to be back on Instagram. But I'll catch you there. Bye.